welcome again. I'm Pachi Coates, your newest friend, I suppose. So, if you watched my last video, that was also my first video, you know who I am. I am a developer relations engineer at New Relic. Also, I learned to code in 12 months, and now people have been asking me how I did that, what did I learn, and how to learn to code fast. Everybody wants to learn how to do this fast. So I'm gonna teach you. But first, I had to tell you the truth. There's no way to learn super fast unless you give up everything in your life and dedicate 20 hours a day to learn. Yeah, then you can do it fast. But I don't recommend that. So I'm gonna help you how to learn to code the fastest for you. Okay, so I'm gonna break down to 3 tips that I use that have been very helpful, and I hope they're gonna be helpful for you too. So the first tip, find out what works for you. And what I mean, there are a bunch of YouTube tutorials and Udemy and Coursera and books and people telling you what to learn, how to learn. I hope maybe you figure out what you want to learn, and there are so many things out there. And by figuring out what works for you the best is, are you a video learner, or you prefer to learn reading or doing things? It depends. You have to figure that out. Because if you ask people like, hey, what should I be using to learn Python? You're gonna get lots of recommendations, okay? For example, when I was learning how to program JavaScript, there was this one course that everybody was recommending me. And I got that. And the way that the instructor explained just didn't work with my brain. And I couldn't learn. I just couldn't learn. And like lots of other people absolutely loved the material. So don't just buy things because somebody said told you it's good. I have ADHD. Books are beautiful. I love books, but I cannot learn through books. Okay, I can go back to a book for notes, for refreshers, but I cannot learn through books. My preferred way of learning is reading and doing. So if you have my first certificate is Free Code Camp. So if you go to Free Code Camp, they have a free web dev course that they give you a little bit of text and they give you some practical activities that you do in the same page. So you learn, you read, you do, you read, you do, and that's great. Then later, I like to watch videos, but just to cement what I learned. So find out what kind of learning you are. Do you like to listen to things? Do you like to watch things? Do you like to read things or do things? And I start to just focusing on this would make a huge difference. And side tip, do not buy 1,000 of Udemy courses. Just buy one. If that works, finish it. Finish it. I mean, before buying things, just watch the instructor. They usually have like one video open. Just watch that. See if you like it. Sometimes the person's voice just annoys you for some reason, and that's fine. Everybody's different. So find out what works best for you, and before you listen to other people's advice, what worked for them, invest in money, just try it out for yourself, okay? And now we go to tip number 2. Build things. How many tutorials have I started? How many classes? How many? And we don't build stuff. We don't build anything. And it's totally fine if you build one tiny thing. Okay, if you're doing front end, just do one page with your name in the picture. It's just okay to do small things. That's totally fine. But do things. Usually you can start doing tutorials. That's fine. But try to do things by yourself without following tutorial. And when you get stuck, instead of just go to Google and look in some documentation, ask for help. But try to get things out of your mind. Or if you aren't sure now, just to say, for example, I'm going through a Python course. So my goal is, after I finish X modules of this Python course, I'm gonna build a project. I just wait until I have the knowledge for that. Because I prefer to know the basics before building things. Some people just build, Google and build, that's fine too. But build things. It can be just Google like best projects for learning JavaScript. Or just think about something that you always wanted. Even to-do list. When you want a to-do list that looks cute, I don't know, you can do it. Now, the third and last tip is what made the biggest difference in my journey, not only learning but in my life, is sharing my journey, share what I'm learning. Big on Twitter, so 100 days of code, the hashtag 100 days of code on Twitter. I post that. I met people were watching me. I got accountability from strangers, and that made a huge difference. I had people sharing on me. Like some days was hard. I post, oh my goodness, I want to give up. It's so hard. And people just cheer me. No, you can do it. Like keep going. You're doing great. Sometimes we don't see how far we have got, and having these little things in public, it can be like since I got started to code. I always wrote my steps on dev.to. I always share on Twitter. Then I start live coding on Twitch, and you're sharing with other people. It can be strangers. My closest friends don't really know what I'm doing, but then you're gonna still gonna have people watching you, and they're gonna see you grow. When I did my first YouTube video, and I share on Twitter, I have several people saying how awesome was to see through the last year my growth and how much I evolved. And people that I'm not close with, but they just have been watching me and even inspired by me. So, last year, a year ago, I had 300 followers on Twitter. Now I have 3,000. And that was it. Like, I share what I'm learning, and I find people that are learning. I try to share them. And it's just a very natural exchange, but exposing yourself a little bit. And like I say, that helped me a lot to learn, make connections, and even get a job. So whatever you're learning, doesn't matter how you're learning, if you can, find a place that you're comfortable. Maybe it's Instagram, maybe it's Twitch, maybe it's just dev.to. But find a place that you feel comfortable. And start small, not everybody gonna have a bunch of followers on Twitter. Like most of the people that don't have 100, and that's fine. Just put yourself out there. Tell people, hey, today I'm starting 100 days of code. I'm gonna be learning HTML. And by the end of this 100 days, maybe I want to have my portfolio up. And maybe you can look for the people that have the same hashtag and see what they're doing. Making connections. That helps you to get accountability and to see how far you have come. So those are more three precious tips. First, find out what kind of learner you are, what works best for you. Second, build. Small things, little things, 1 page, 10 pages, what works best for you. Okay, and you also can have your portfolio in mind, what you're going to be showing people. Your GitHub is active, yay. And third, and the most important for life, is share what you're learning. Again, can be on Twitch, can be on Instagram, can be through blog posts. Share people and have these people get to know you, even if not very personal, in the personal levels, but in level that it makes sense to you, that you're comfortable with. I have some of my best friends I found on Twitter and Twitch. And so that's it. I hope it helps you. If you have any questions, please comment. If you have anything that you would like to hear me talking about, comment too. My next video gonna be with resources, so it doesn't matter if you like to learn with video, with books, or with podcasts. I don't know. We're gonna work through and find out what the resources are out there for you. So thanks so much for watching. Please subscribe and follow me on Twitch. I'm much more fun there. Twitch TV/PatchCodes. Okay, thank you so much. Have a great week, and please subscribe and comment. I really would love to get to know you better.